Welcome back. Some good news for parents with 2 kids in childcare, with the government announcing a $1.7 billion budget proposal that will cut fees for families. But the changes won't come in until June next year.
Let's get today's take on this with 9 Honey's Shelley Horton and 2GB's Ben Fordham. Good morning.
Morning.
Both.
Morning.
Benny, the idea is to get parents back into the workforce without going broke in the process. Is this going to do the trick?
Well, it's going to make a massive difference, Dickie, because there are so many families out there who tell the story about, is it really worth me going back to work when, you know, the money's coming in one way and out the other? The costs are just astronomical. And it's interesting that it's based around the second child and subsequent children. So there's not a hell of a lot of relief in this for the firstborn child, but the greater weight carried is by families who've got more kids. So for the second child, the third child and so on, there are major savings to be made. So I think it's probably going to be a vote winner for them and a relief to a lot of parents.
Okay. Also, you know, that they have one that's like, let's get cracking with the second baby.
Oh, it's going to be a baby starter.
Yeah, save some money. A baby starter. But, you know, Labor has attacked the policy, saying it's not enough, Shelley.
Surprise, surprise,
Yes.
they've attacked the policy. Look, the thing that I look at is it's going to cost $1.7 billion. However, it's predicted that it will bring back $1.5 billion in getting mothers, mainly, back into the workforce. So it's almost cost neutral. So my only thing would be like, let's do it sooner. Let's help these women get back in there. We're talking pay gap. We're talking about inequity. I think that this is, you know, a great step. We could probably go a bit further. I'm not going to go as far as Labor and, you know, criticise the government. I'm going to say thank you. Let's just move on a bit more.
Is there a worry that this could be an excuse for them to jack the fees up?
Well, that's a concern. I spoke to the Minister on radio this morning about that, because if childcare operators know that this assistance is coming at a certain time, they say they'll be watching it. So they're watching it and they'll be keeping an eye on that, because you're right, there is an opportunity there for ruthless childcare providers to think, OK, I'll jack the prices up just before this kicks in.
Well, the parents will also be keeping an eye on it, that's for sure.
They will.
But childcare for $6 a day, that's great.
Oh, big difference.
Yeah.
I like the idea of it being a baby starter, because the bloke who is the chairman of Channel 9, Peter Costello, when he was Treasurer, famously said, have one for mum, one for dad and one for your country. So get out there, get to it now.
Getting busy.
While you're watching the show.
Wow. Everyone's at work. Henderson also making news this morning. Phase 2A of the vaccine rollout has kicked off. It's happening, folks, meaning millions of over 50s are now eligible for the AstraZeneca jab. Mass vaccination hubs opening up across the country. Some states, of course, are lagging behind. It's not a competition, but we've got to get this thing done. Shelley, what happened to the national rollout?
It's so a competition, and New South Wales winning. I love it. Yeah, come on. Look, I just think we are at that stage now of enough excuses. Everyone get out, get vaccinated. And I cannot wait. I'm 47, turning 48. If they have any extra, I'll jump into the 51, OK? I'm not afraid of AstraZeneca. I'm not afraid of blood clots. Let me roll up my sleeve. So I can't wait.
I can understand some of the concern out there. I think that that's why you're seeing a lot of cancellations at some clinics when people are turning up to get a jab. Now some people can get a little shortcut. There have been examples of people getting a little shortcut to get the Pfizer jab because 25 people on one morning at a clinic in Canberra cancelled their appointments. I think when people hear about blood clots, even though they are such a rare factor and may not even be linked,
But what we need to do is educate people. You have more chance of winning the lotto than getting a blood clot. If you start thinking about those numbers, it's really, really such a low risk.
Is that if you take the maxi pick or
But I guess it's, you know, also there's still that risk, and we're talking about, you know, death.
Well,
but there's a risk going on the pill.
Yeah, the first I heard about this was a GP saying this to my wife when she was there for a checkup, and she said, look, I'm not an anti-vaxxer, but I'm just letting you know, for women of childbearing age, I would just wait a little bit and let a few other people go first. So I totally support people making their own choices based on their own health.
Olympians?
And advice from the GP.
Yeah.
Olympians, 100%, give it to them?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, they've got to travel. They're representing the country. There's only a handful of them.
Good. Japan's going through their third wave, so why not? Shelley and Ben, stay with us. When we come back, the workers refusing... Welcome back. Almost half of Victoria's public servants are refusing to go back to the office. Wow. That is despite being ordered to return to their desks more than a month ago.
Ben and Shelley are still with us to discuss. They're still here, these two.
Never will go away.
Shelley, the government said they have to go back at least 3 days a week. They've got a job. They've got to do what they're told, don't they? 57% say no. What's going on here?
Well, I can kind of see their point of view. They were in lockdown for many, many weeks and managed to work from home. I think that it has to be like a happy medium. It should be judged on productivity, not hours spent in the office. And I think that if you are needed in the office, then that's very different. What we've found with 9 Honey is we're more productive when we're not in the office. Less chatting, less coffees, less going out for lunch. If you're at home, you get everything done and you have a little bit more life-work balance.
You work for a progressive company. Morning, boss.
Not the government.
Well, you know, but if the boss says come to work, we want you in here, surely you've got to do that.
Yeah, I think you do have to negotiate that.
No,
I don't think you need
the
5 days a week.
I want you to come to work.
You're coming to work. You're coming to work. It's not a negotiation or a discussion.
You need the person in the office.
Because the boss
If it's about getting the work done.
I want you at work.
That's right.
No.
What the boss says goes. That's the way it
But
works.
they actually just want the work done.
No, he wants you at work. That's why he says. Because he's the boss.
Because he's being a bit of a dictator?
No, because it's part of the makeup and culture of an office that you decide how it's going to work. And if you think that it's important to have people there, not everyone is as hardworking, as diligent as you is, Shelley, when it comes to the work you do when nobody's watching.
But these public servants are also getting a working from home allowance. So, you know,
it's $20
so
a week.
they're double dipping.
So they're getting a working from home allowance, which is going to cost taxpayers like $50 million.
Yeah, there's a financial incentive in staying home, is there, Shell?
Not for people like me, there's not, Ben.
No.
And it's $20 a week, and that's to cover your electricity and internet that you're using
But maybe
at
if it's
home.
your choice not to go into work, then you just shouldn't get the allowance.
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
They want
$20
you
a week.
mentoring new people, up-and-coming young talent.
You can still do that via Zoom.
Oh, rubbish. I've got.
Thanks for getting dressed and coming into work today, Shelley.
No, next time I'm just going to find it.
I've
Zoom
got
in.
producers who work with me on my radio show, and I give them the choice at various times and during COVID whether they work from home and we do a bit of a balance, some in the office. But ultimately, if I'm told to come to work by the boss, I come to work, and same goes for someone working for me. That's the difference between being the boss.
I'm the boss of my
crack that
company,
whip.
and I just get people to send me their work.
Well,
I don't need them in an
good on
office.
you.
Okay.
You're the boss, you do what you like.
Let's get on to another big story of the day. And most baby gender reveals involve cakes and balloons, but a Sydney Turkish restaurant has come up with a very inventive way to deliver the news.
And the chips go straight on. So for them to see the reveal, they have to finish the snack pack first. Cheese, more cheese. Right, this snack pack is just going to be barbecue sauce. The results come in probably about half an hour. Yeah. Guys, now is the time for the reveal. 1, 2, 3, go.
So you've got to get through all of that to find out whether it's a boy or a girl.
What does it say underneath? Your ambulance is out. No, just
I like that they went to the trouble.
It's a heart attack on a plate.
I like that they went to the trouble of just writing it just with a permanent marker on the bottom of the tray. I mean, hang on, what's the big reveal here? I mean, if you really want to go to that trouble with a snack pack, then there should be something buried in the middle of the food somehow. It should be
written
a
on one
flavour.
chip.
Or something like that. You know.
have a little pink chip down the bottom.
I don't know.
Or dessert at the bottom, so like some pink, I don't know, pink cupcake or a
Have the
blue.
gender reveals gone just a little bit too far?
I've got a controversial opinion. I think all gender reveals are lame and dumb. They're unnecessary. They're over the top. We don't need them. I think it's ridiculous.
It's an exciting time in every parent's life.
Excuse
What
for
about
another
waiting
party.
till the baby pops out?
That's the best gender reveal.
Aha.
That's what we've done 3 times with our kids, and I was swayed by my wife because I wanted to find out. Best thing we've ever done is sit back and get the surprise on the day they arrive.
There you go.
After going through all of that, it's a little surprise at the end of it.
I love it.
Yeah, it was
But, you know,
torture for me.
I love it. Snack pack
Oh,
as
not the
well.
actual birth. I mean, that was kind of a torture, not knowing,
Do you
not
notice
knowing.
how I moved the torture around pregnancy onto the snack pack straight away, as most blokes do?
So you could be having the snack pack. What do we have, Dale? Lots of good. Okay.
Thanks so much for joining us
Love your
today,
work.
guys. We'll see you next week. Still to come, celebrating 100 years.